Oh, here we go. Hello, everybody. It's episode 2 of the Listen Outside Game On podcast. We are doing a sort of breakfast roundup of yesterday's games. It's Ellie here, and I'm joined by.
Oh, sorry, my signal went. It's Lucy. Hi.
Hi!
Hi.
So, what have you been making of it so far?
Well, yesterday was intense. I think it was always going through with 3 games happening. I did actually watch all 3. I think my favourite, of course, was Portugal Spain because that was amazing. But yeah, no, it was very, very good.
Oh, hang on.
Great start for myself.
You just dialect out there. What was that? Could you do the last bit again? You just had a bit of signal loss.
Okay, yeah. Just to say, I think the best game yesterday was Portugal Spain. It was just intense. It was amazing. I just don't think any of us expected that at all.
Well, I certainly was hoping that it would be the big one. But yesterday, so I was at work for the first 2 games, and then I was on a long train journey from Glasgow to Barnsley for Portugal Spain. So while you were watching at home, actually enjoying being able to see the games, I listened to Egypt Uruguay on the radio, interspersed with occasional looks down the virtual reality suite at work. We have a
That's amazing.
we have a VR suite. It's got a giant 10-foot screen in it, which is currently being used for its true purpose of showing the football.
That's incredible. I know the BBC are doing VR. I don't know if any other broadcasters are across Europe, like which broadcasters are.
Well, we haven't actually had to go on the VR part. We've just been using the big screen. But I think given that we are a centre that's doing research onto VR and augmented reality, we ought to be having a go, seeing what the state of the art is.
Yeah, definitely.
I
wonder where the VR angle is from on the TV.
So they're using a lot of spider cams apparently. Like the spider cams, which we're very familiar with from Eurovision, they have been coming into football, and a lot of the bigger stadiums are just rigged for spider cams. So I guess that would be quite good for a VR thing. But it's But I don't know. Like, I don't know what point of view you would want for a VR football experience.
I'm thinking maybe it's pitch size, but I'm not sure.
Imagine if you covered the ref with GoPros and you were watching from the ref's point of view.
Oh my god, that would be epic. That would be so good.
Then
that would be really, really interesting.
Yeah, you would definitely know whether the ref had been in a position to see a certain incident, VAR or no VAR.
Yes, definitely. I think that's I'm loving the VAR in this, by the way. I know we touched on it last time, but I think it's been absolutely fascinating, especially yesterday. Like, they actually used the goal line technology, didn't they?
Yeah.
For one of Spain's, turns out, not goal. Yeah.
Right, let's quickly go through the matches one by one. Egypt versus Uruguay. I'm glad they didn't play Mo Salah.
Are you?
Yeah,
I was screaming at my TV, like, where's Mo?
Well, I mean, I'm glad that he was fit enough to be on the bench, but I also think that Uruguay would have made a special effort to kick him up and down the pitch.
Oh yeah, definitely. And Luis Suarez's teeth would have come out.
Yeah, I think. Oh, Suarez. I think that keeping him in good nick for the other 2 games is probably a lot more important than. I think they basically just said, well, we'll get what we can get from the Uruguay game, and that was basically nothing.
Yeah. It's a shame because it was the very end that happened. I was supporting Egypt. I was a bit gutted at the end when Uruguay worked one in. I don't think Uruguay deserved the win as such. I think it was very much a draw kind of game. Both sides were playing dodgy at times. Like, I don't know which player it was for Egypt, but I suppose you were only listening, not hearing. But there was the worst dive I've ever seen from an Egyptian player. And they showed it on replay. It was about 2 foot away. The Uruguayan player's foot was like 2 foot away from him, and he dived as if it had been contact.
Oh,
so it was a bit like, oh, okay. So there was dodgy play both sides, but I just think with the history and quality Uruguay have, they should be doing better than 1-0 against Egypt without Mo Salah.
Uruguay I think they've got a bit of an image problem. And it's not just Suarez related, but they do seem to have been cast as a sort of World Cup villain or villain of international football. And I guess for people whose this is their first World Cup, it's going to probably be quite confusing. Like, what have Uruguay done specifically that everybody's already negative about them and expecting them to play dirty and things?
Yeah, I think, yesterday they were quite tame. I mean, Luis Suarez is definitely, I think he learned a very hard lesson at the last World Cup after biting the Italian player. Who was it? Carvalho? I can't remember.
To be honest, most of us learn that biting's not okay when we're 3.
Yes, exactly. Let alone, however, what was he, 23 probably back then. Like, I think he's learned a lot since going to Barcelona, because obviously he was sold from Liverpool, and I think a large part of that was the image problem with the UK media and stuff. But no, he was on his best behaviour yesterday, although playing very badly in comparison to what we're used to. I'm just glad it wasn't him that scored the goal, was it?
No, it was one that I didn't, one that I'm not familiar with.
I'm not sure either, but it was Luis Suarez was just off the whole game, and I feel bad that I don't know who the guy's name, because he was the only one that was playing well for Uruguay properly, in my opinion. The BBC was saying, was it BBC that had that game? Yeah. They were saying that it was the other guy's very, selfless and regularly just gives the ball to Suarez very often because he knows he can't compete with that kind of legend, as it were. So he's just very selfless, but it works out because he was brilliant yesterday, and he ended up being the one who got the goal. So it was great.
Yeah, and
I liked it.
Both those sides are they're probably in with a good chance of against Russia, and they're both going to absolutely batter Saudi Arabia.
Oh yeah, definitely. It'll be interesting what happens, because Saudi Arabia kind of nearly held Germany to a draw not long ago. Like, they did play really well against Germany. And this was about a month ago, I think. Yeah. So there could be something in there, but there won't be. They're losing 5-0 to Russia. So
yeah, well, it's still difficult to work out who's having off days and who's actually good at the minute.
Yeah, I mean, I know in the last podcast we kind of discussed how do you differentiate between a good and bad team, and yesterday people watching probably thought Uruguay were a crap team. They're not. They're historically, they won 4 World Cups, I think. Mm-hmm. They're a great in the game, but yesterday was just poor, really poor. So it'd be very, very interesting to see what they can do against Russia and Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. Okay, moving on to Group B, the afternoon fixture, which, yes, that was on in the VR suite again, but I was doing an experiment with a furnace, so I couldn't go and see very much of it. Morocco, Iran.
Yeah. Well, this is another one I just want to state for the record I was really upset about, because I wanted Morocco to win this one, and 2 games in a row, the team that I wanted to win lost in extra time. So I was really gutted again, but it was. I found this one to be a little bit more interesting than Uruguay, Egypt.
Yeah, so Egypt-Uruguay was a sort of a very defensive one where neither team were trying to lose, whereas Morocco-Iran, sort of, they knew that one of them had to win to stand any chance of qualifying in a group that's got Portugal and Spain in it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I mean, somebody, I can't remember who it was. I'm going to quickly have a look on Twitter, but somebody was putting yesterday that. Uh, so I think it was Morocco scored 1 goal, Portugal scored 3, Spain scored 3, Iran scored 0 to hit Iran at the top of the group. And I'm really trying to find who it was on Twitter because I want to give them the credit for the good observation. But
Yes.
it is funny how it can work, isn't it? Because obviously, of course, it was an own goal from Morocco that caused Iran to win.
Yeah. But
And
the group stages of the World Cup are just a sort of an exercise in small numbers. And when the numbers are
yeah,
small, you can have like weird permutations coming out. Like at the minute, Iran are top of Group B.
yeah. And who predicted that? I suppose it was kind of Portugal Spain was kind of. It's not surprising that it was a draw. It was surprising that it was 3-3. I think. I mean, because I'm saying that, but it's I suppose we expected a lot of goals from that kind of game with that kind of quality in it. Perhaps not after all Spain's drama, which, by the way, I can't actually. No, we'll move on to that when we talk about that game. But
Yeah, let's do this because we're both itching to talk about Portugal, Spain.
yeah,
This is the first.
how did Spain manage that after the rubbish they've had this week? Like, so many props to Spain because that is wow.
But it's because Spain are Spain and they just play like Spain, whoever's in charge, really. And they just
Hmm.
continue to play like Spain.
Yeah, it was incredible. They really did come through. And oh, by the way, the credit for the other guy was at Eurogo IXX. But the Spaniards, I don't particularly like Portugal. I throw it out there now because I think I love the country. And I think I just don't like their play of football. And Spain, I don't really. I'm not either way about it. I'm not a huge Spain fan. I'm not a huge Portugal fan. So I went into this quite like, let's see.
I
And
was
Spain
basically
deserves so much credit.
I was basically just there for the drama. I wanted it
Yeah,
to be like proper theatrical football, end to end
yeah.
stuff, both teams scoring, a VAR incident, penalties, goal line stuff, and I got it all. It was
Mm.
magnificent for the neutral.
It was glorious, wasn't it? It was so good. And I can't imagine how rubbish it would be to be a Spanish football fan last night when Ronaldo scored that last goal.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it was rough.
What are Portugal gonna do when they don't have Ronaldo to just single handedly drag them back into the game?
I know, literally. I was watching it yesterday. I was thinking to myself, "Oh, Portugal anything but Ronaldo?" But in the Euro 2016 final, did he get injured? I can't remember. He was off the pitch for a while for whatever reason, and they still managed to win, albeit only just.
Oh, that was the one
But
with the moths. Everything was
oh
covered in
yes,
moths.
I forgot about that. Sorry for that dirty laugh, but that was so funny. I completely forgot about that.
Ronaldo
but,
injured on the floor, covered in moths. Oh, yeah.
oh my god, literally, I have to watch that GIF later on once it's
Yeah.
done. But no, so I suppose they maybe it's like I think Sweden are better without Zlatan, and they proved they can do it without Zlatan. So maybe Portugal will come into their own once Ronaldo's gone. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. He doubled his World Cup goal tally yesterday.
Really, I didn't even notice that. How has he only scored 3 goals before this? It's
Because,
Cristiano Ronaldo.
well, he just hasn't been very good at World Cups before.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'll tell you what, if you're waking up with 3 goals against Spain, then this is going to be a very interesting World Cup. Eh?
Yeah. So we are looking down the barrel of a 4-game day today. It's Saturday.
Wow.
I'm going to a music festival. Once more, I'm going to be vicariously enjoying the football through telly shop windows and on Twitter.
I'm
But
so impressed with your dedication.
But yeah, some good ones today. Let's just do a quick rundown of what we're going to get. And
France-Australia starts in a little bit.
Yeah, France-Australia is the first game. That's going to be fun. Then the 2:00 kickoff is Argentina-Iceland. So we've got a sort of a nice.
Well, I think both of those we know who's going to win. I think, but wouldn't it be wonderful if either Australia or Iceland won?
Yes, it would. We've got a sort of two nice juxtaposed games there. We've got France versus Australia, who, to be honest, we would rather it was Syria who was in the World Cup.
Yeah.
And just do your best, Australia. All of the French guys who work in my office, I work in a university, so it's a really international office, and I've had a good chance to sort of sample opinion, and it turns out that everybody is massively negative about their own team. I thought this was just England and the English and Scotland and the Scottish and Scotland, but yeah. One of the French guys pulled France out of the sweepstake and went, "Oh, I throw my money away."
I think France are winning it. So
yeah. I looked at him askance and went, "But you're going to win this." So, but then we've got Argentina, Iceland, and Iceland are a little country that we're very glad is in the World Cup. But I just this is going to be a big test for them. And I'm not going to assume that Argentina are going to approach this match with the arrogance that other teams approach their matches with Iceland. Like, people know what they're going to do now.
Yeah. Well, I had in the Euro 2016 game between England and Iceland, apparently at half-time, Joe Hart, our then goalkeeper, said, "Come on, guys, we've got Germany next, so we just need to get this over and done with," as in already assuming that they were going to beat Iceland, and of course they did not. So hopefully Argentina don't go in with that attitude, because whilst Argentina are a lot better than England, you never know with Iceland. You never know. And I think most of the world, definitely Europe, is behind Iceland. The amount of people who are saying, "I'm supporting Iceland this time instead of my own country," there are a lot of people.
Yes, I've still not got the Viking clap sound effect ready, but, let's just assume that that's going to be happening. Then the other two games, we've got some interesting intercontinentals going on. We've got Peru versus Denmark, which I don't really know what to expect other than the unexpected.
Well, Denmark haven't they got Kasper Schmeichel in goal? He's a ruddy good goalie. He's really good.
And Christian Eriksen, I believe, will be starting. I don't really know a lot about the Peruvian team, but I've seen that Russia is full of Peruvians right now, so there will certainly be some atmosphere.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think Peru are very much like Iceland. People didn't really expect to make it, and you know what? They qualified for World Cup just like anybody else. Can't write them off.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, that's the thing.
And Denmark only just qualified. I think we should point out because they had to do a game. They had to do an extra game with Sweden or something, didn't they? I can't remember.
Oh yeah, there was a big Scandi playoff scandal.
Yeah, so Denmark only just qualified. So it's very much. I'm so neutral in that one. I have no idea who's going to win that. I genuinely wouldn't be able to say.
And then we have the best dressed versus Barbara Dex playoff at 8:00. We've got Croatia with their checkered shirts and Nigeria with their most stylish shirts.
They are the two most iconic shirts in the whole tournament, aren't they?
I think that Nigeria will be playing with the dark away variation. But there's still going to be a lot of pattern on pattern. Croatia are a bit less eye-boggling this time around. The checkers are bigger, but this is still going to be one to really, really test the 4K display.
Oh God, yeah.
Especially,
I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, that is going to be a good one. Just after the Nigeria-England match, I'm looking forward to seeing how they progress, and I'm just.
I mean, like I said last time, I was at that game, and the atmosphere that the Nigerian fans, I've never seen anything like it. And I've been going to football my whole life. I have never seen away support so enthusiastic. They are dancing the entire time. they're going to get their team rallied. And I think that, I mean, Croatia's got some pretty passionate fans as well. I don't know much about Croatia, except for their fabulous shirts. But it's going to be very interesting. Croatia are quality; they are quite good. But I think Nigeria, I don't know. I think Nigeria are going to edge it. I think it's going to be 2-1 to Nigeria.
Yeah, I think the creativity is going to probably win out over the sort of organised Balkanness of it all.
Yeah, definitely, I agree.
Yeah. Okay. Have a nice day and enjoy the football.
I will. I'm going to go downstairs to watch France Australia now. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.